did not know the past could wait with something lingering in its silence.
Sacred place was still around us, old ash black rock, patient flame.
And every step I took beside my son felt only like another step. I did not yet know that what waited there would not be shown to us.
It would be imposed.
I saw the face before the ears, before the carved staff,
Before the rope,
I saw my son, his face,
held in stone.
standing where no memory of mine had ever placed him. Then I saw the pointed ears, the woven fall of elven cloth, the staff shaped by a hand that had known Vaelwyn's highest forms. And then the mark beneath the beauty, not merely elven, not merely ancient.
The ground shifted without moving. My breath remained but failed to hold me. The name of my house passed through me like a branch splitting under frost.
Not an answer,
Not an answer.
not yet. Only the certainty that my blood had stood here before me, and that someone erased from us had not been erased from this place. My balance broke for half a heartbeat. A body moved beside mine, silent, only close enough to prevent the fall. Reinhardt corrected the distance between my body and the stone beneath it. When I looked at him, something crossed his face. Then it was gone.
And before I could name that absence, my son's voice tore the air open.
What the hell am I?
Before the statue, before the lineage, before the old magic reached for him, he was Kale. The stone knew a face. I knew a child. I knew the breath I had counted when storms shook the walls around us. I knew the hands I had held before they learned what they could destroy. I knew the silence I had broken, so pain would not speak for him. No carved mouth, no ancient robe, no forgotten blood beneath my own would stand before his name. He nodded slowly, not because the wound had closed, but because he trusted my voice more than the terror in his own. Then he looked at both statues, the elf with his face, the Drakkar beside him. Agner spoke quietly. He gave us their names. Varric. He said the old stories did not agree.
Not in order.
Not in cause, not in the shape of what had ended. Only this remained among his people. They had been heroes to Drakron, when the conflict with the Cellarians could no longer be turned aside. They had protected these lands when the ancient war began. They had stood where others broke. And then, one day, they vanished. I listened, and behind each word another silence took its place. A Vaelwyn honored here, a Vaelwyn missing there, a name preserved by Drakkar stone and stripped from elven branch. Nail Verilor and Thurendile, Vael Alin Moriali Thail, Silmanar Thalas Ren, I Forn and Kaitanur and Ven. And if Drakron had remembered him, then Vael Alin had chosen not to. Not because he was was nothing, because he had crossed too much. Because some truths are easier buried when they wear the face of blood. I did not know what he had done, but I knew the shape of elven silence. I knew how fear becomes doctrine, how a family trims its history, until the cut branch looks like it never grew. And now that missing life's to be for my son, not as a warning whispered low, but as a face carved into stone. On the seal was not elven, but I knew the architecture. The same hand or the same impossible mind had marked another place before. A cave, an altar, an egg and stone. My son's origin was no longer only a mystery I had carried. It had roots. Elyra and Vaelwyn, the erased name. The honored stranger, the face my son had inherited without ever asking for it. I would not call it creation. No, never.
Earth had touched him, life had answered.
If the Lord had opened the impossible, then the impossible still become a child. What Kel was, then let the world learn patience.
I would not hand him over to the first truth that frightened me. For a moment, I was not mother enough to be unshaken. I lifted my eyes. Redness stood apart as he always did, where the scene could be read that the quail that he belonged to it. He looked at the statue, then at Kel, then at me. His voice did not soften.
The darkness establishes a link.
face in stone. The earth had answered with my blood, but Kale stood beside